Welcome back to Woundcasters by Wound Care Today, the podcast dedicated to exploring the challenging and rewarding world of healing chronic wounds. I'm your host, Felix Boecker, and today we're diving deep into a concept often associated with elite military units, particularly the Navy SEALs: death before dishonor. Now, you might be confused to hear this is the topic for today, or you might be wondering why I am crazy enough to think that Navy SEAL paradigms apply to us in the wound care world. Well, recently I read The Wisdom of the Bullfrog by Admiral William McRaven. You may have seen his University of Texas commencement address in 2014, where he explains the power of making your bed every morning. In this book, though, he covers 18 important leadership lessons he learned in his time in the Navy SEALs. And upon reading this book, I felt the principles he talks about apply to us in chronic wound care as well. Now, in the context of wound care, death before dishonor isn't a literal call to arms, but rather a powerful paradigm shift. It speaks to an unwavering commitment to our patients, a refusal to give up on healing their wounds until we have exhausted every viable option, or tragically, until the end of the patient's journey. Across the nation, wound care professionals face a daily battle against infection, chronic conditions that slow down and impede wound healing, socioeconomic barriers, and the often complex needs, wants, and desires of their patients. There will be times when a wound seems stagnant, resistant to treatment, and the emotional toll on both the patient and the practitioner can be significant. It is in these moments that the spirit of death before dishonor becomes crucial. It's about embodying a relentless dedication to finding solutions, exploring new approaches, and advocating fiercely for our patients. This paradigm doesn't mean ignoring the realities of a patient's overall health or prognosis. There will be some wounds that simply won't heal, try as you might. No, it's about approaching each case with a mindset that we will not prematurely concede defeat to a wound. It demands that we exhaust all reasonable and evidence-based treatments, consult with colleagues, and continuously seek knowledge to improve our outcomes. Consider the emotional fortitude of a Navy SEAL. They're trained to push beyond perceived limitations, to persevere through unimaginable hardship. As wound care professionals, we too must cultivate a similar resilience. We will encounter setbacks, wounds that don't respond as we hope, and the emotional weight of caring for individuals facing significant health challenges. Death before dishonor in our practice means we won't let discouragement lead to complacency. It compels us to maintain a proactive and persistent approach, always striving for the best possible outcome for our patients. This commitment also extends to patient advocacy. Sometimes the most significant battle we fight is not against the wound itself, but against systemic barriers, insurance limitations, or lack of understanding of the patient's own needs, wants, and desires. Our unwavering dedication means we become their voice, relentlessly pursuing the resources and support they require for healing. Of course, applying this paradigm requires a delicate balance. Death before dishonor does not equate to unrealistic expectations or a refusal to acknowledge when a wound is a manifestation of a terminal illness or when further aggressive treatment is not in the patient's best interest. It necessitates honest and compassionate communication with the patients and their families about realistic goals and potential outcomes. But even in those most difficult moments, our commitment to honor remains. This is where my own pet peeve comes into play. Patients should have the dignity of dying with intact skin. Our death before dishonor paradigm means that even when a wound can no longer be healed, our honor as practitioners compels us to protect our patients from developing new wounds and preventing existing ones from getting worse. The ultimate act of honor is to ensure they have the dignity to die with intact skin. This is a final and critical goal of care. It's about protecting their comfort and preserving their physical integrity to the very end. However, the core principle remains. We do not give up on healing process without a thorough and exhaustive effort. We stand by our patients, offering our expertise, our compassion, and our unwavering commitment to their well-being until the very end of their journey. Applying death before dishonor paradigm from the Navy SEALs to our wound care practice is about adopting a mindset of relentless dedication, unwavering commitment, and fierce patient advocacy. It's about pushing our own limits, continuously seeking knowledge, and never, ever giving up on the hope for healing. It's about honoring our profession, and most importantly, honoring the trust our patients place in us, ensuring their dignity and comfort to the very end. And with that, I thank you again for joining me on Woundcasters by Wound Care today. If there are any particular topics you want to hear about or guests you would like to see on the show, reach out and contact us. If you're listening to this on a podcast app, be sure to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review so others can find this content more easily. And if you like this particular episode, why not share it with a friend? As always, be sure to tune in next time as we explore another vital aspect of the challenging and rewarding field of chronic wound care. Ciao.